Okay, hey YouTube. I am back with another video. This time I am taking a look at AerobicOyster14. He is a high diamond, low onyx player that I think with just a couple adjustments to his game, he could really get into more of a mid to high onyx range. Um, we're looking at an oddball game on live fire. Going to take a look at what he did right, what he did wrong, and things that we could do to improve in the future. Just like with the last VOD review, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of talk a little bit in TAC maps about my general thoughts on Oddball and how the game should be played, and then we'll take a look at the video. So let's get into TAC maps. So I've got live fire up. Obviously, your team's spawning red team this time, and the other team's spawning an A. So general idea of Oddball is you want to get the ball into a position where you're covered by your teammates, and then in a position where you can make an action depending on what's happening around you in the game. Now, that action, if your teammates die, is normally to throw the ball off the map, but that action could also be to rotate the ball away from danger in one direction or the other, and it could also be drop the ball and fight for a bit. But the idea is you want to secure the ball, get as much time as you can, and then recognize as things are starting to go bad. And they're either going to go bad in the sense that all of your teammates are dead, it's time to get rid of the ball, or it's going to go bad in the sense that they're pushing us, we need to fight, and you have to make a decision. Like, you have to either be in the position to throw the ball off and make it as difficult as possible for the other team to get ball time, or to fight and win a battle and then continue to get ball time. So the first way to make that happen is to work on setting up a buffer around your ball carrier. And what I mean by a buffer is, say number one is your ball carrier. There's normally a pretty typical setup of setting top C tower or maybe your back mud, but top C tower is pretty good on this box area so that you can watch this line of sight here, and then you're going to have a teammate either here or somewhere in here. Maybe he's standing here watching top mid. Maybe he's up top tower watching top mid. Maybe he's also watching over here. The idea is you're trying to block off the lanes that people can come from. So maybe you got a teammate here. Maybe you've got someone playing kind of weak side over at B, and then you've got this teammate more, either in this area. And one concept that I haven't mentioned before in my videos that I want to talk about is the idea of watching crosses and what it means to play lanes in Halo. So almost all Halo maps are 3-lane maps. And what that means is there are 3 primary directions that you're going to feel pressure coming from. So as we're watching areas in the map, you have to understand that the team's either going to push this way, they're going to push this way, and this could be one of two ways. They could go top mid or bottom mid, or they're going to push out this way. And yes, there's some alternate routes to this, but the idea is they all come through these primary directions. And you can think about that on streets too, where there is B side, and then there is top mid, and then there is cafe side. You could think about that on Aquarius with the Dynamo area, and then top mid, and then also P side. Like almost all Halo maps are designed in a structure of a 3-lane map. And what we do with that is focus on making sure that someone on your team is blocking each of the lanes. So 4 here is trying to cut off the green or B side lane. 3 is watching the top mid area. 2 and also 1 are watching the overshield area. And so what you have here is line of sight coverage on any of these 3 lanes. And the benefit of this is if the other team is undisciplined and they just send one guy out at a time, then he's either going to die or he's going to have to back up because he's going to get shot as soon as he comes out either this way, and maybe he goes up sneaky, and then he gets around here, and 3 watches him, and then also 2 can come around and help. Maybe they send 2, and now you know, hey, at least 2 players are this way, so we can kind of focus attention over here and deal with these 2 guys. 4 is still watching the cross from B side, and maybe they send 3. Then you know, okay, there's strong side pushing this way, so all 3 of these players need to focus this direction. Like we need to make sure that we're focusing fire on the 3 players. Ball guy's got to drop the ball. We've got to fight them. 4 has to still stay disciplined. And the reason that he has to stay disciplined is number 3 could be coming on a flank. So if your team calls out, hey, there's 3 pushing this way, and then 4 starts migrating up this way, then either 3 could be coming this way, and as 4 is moving out, he's getting shot by 3, or 4 could be all the way up here, and then 3 comes behind you guys, and what ends up happening is, this guy trades out, this guy trades out, maybe you kill one of them, maybe you kill 2 of them, whatever, and then these 2 guys fight, and then 3 comes behind and kills the ball guy, or, you know, your setup is over at that point. Now, with all this being said, the goal of watching crosses is to make it hard for the other team to push the ball carrier. So you don't want anyone to get to the ball carrier for free. You want to always have a buffer between the ball and any lanes that they can be pushed from. So you don't want your ball guy to be here and then 2 to be here. You don't want the ball guy on the edge of the formation. You don't want the ball guy down here and then everybody's trying to say your ball guy's back B, and then there's a guy watching here, there's a guy watching here, maybe there's a guy, whoops, watching at like B pillars or something. You don't want the ball carrier to be the furthest person extended up the map. You also don't want to get into a situation where you're not covering all the lanes. So even if, say, 3 is the ball carrier here, we're watching this and we're watching this. So it's really hard for them to come this way to the ball carrier. But they could right now come bottom mid and either punch this guy in the back, and obviously this guy's watching this too, or they can come all the way around here for free and kill your ball carrier. So you have to make sure that someone is in position to block off any potential lane that the ball carrier could be pushed from. And then as your formation breaks down, say you've got 20 or 30 seconds, and again, 2, we'll say 2 is the ball carrier in this case. And I don't know, maybe 4 setting in this area somewhere trying to watch top mid. And again, we've got somebody sneaking around green, cutting off the B lane, playing weak side by himself. As the other team pushes and they get a kill, you have to recognize at this point that, hey, we're getting pushed by 3 people this way. What should I do as a ball carrier? Well, the most obvious answer is to throw the ball off the map and start fighting. Another answer is to rotate the ball away. You have to be very careful of this. A lot of people really good at curve slide and really good at getting to you fast as a ball carrier. Even if you're dribbling, you're going to be going slower than the people who are pursuing you. So you have to only try to rotate away when numbers are still even, I would say. You can't attempt to rotate unless you've got a really good idea that your teammate's about to spawn into the area that you're rotating to. So if you can manage to make it down mud and get here while this guy slows these people down, so he's doing his best to live and just waste as much of their time as possible to prevent them from getting to the ball carrier, and then this guy spawns, maybe this guy dies, but he also kills someone else. And now you're still in a 3-on-3, which is okay because you can drop the ball and you can fight. But if you don't get this kind of immediate reaction where a player on your team gets a trade out or wastes their time, you have to play the ball. And the reason that you have to play the ball is if we spend all this time working to get 20, 30 seconds, maybe more, maybe less, and we just die and leave the ball where it's at, now the other team comes and picks up the ball. They're in the setup that you just worked to get, and you're respawning way back here. And so now, as your team spawns up, you can't really go forward until everyone's up. And if you do, then you're just compounding the issue because your players are going to die as they're approaching the ball. They're racking up all the time that you just earned because you didn't throw the ball off the map or because you didn't rotate it away from pressure. So you have to do something. You can't just sit still. You can't just drop the ball and fight. If there's one guy, if the numbers are even, you can drop the ball and fight. But the idea is you can't leave the ball at the end of a possession here. So think of it similar to football. Once it's fourth down, you have to make a decision on whether to play the ball off the map or to rotate the ball away. It can't just be let's go for it on 4th and 20 and lose the game. So big focus on this is not giving away free time with the ball. So we're going to take a look in this match, see what happens with that. And yeah, let's get started with the match itself. All right, so off spawn here. I think you were AFK for a second. Do the grab the green gun. Just one quick note for everyone. If you don't have a secondary weapon, any weapon that you pass, you need to pick up. It's better to have an option to make a play with a weapon than to not have a backup at all. So right now, immediately you should see corner of this guy's gun. Let's see what happens. I don't think you saw him. Okay, he also didn't see you, and he just ran away, which is fine. Repulse, run away. One thing that I see from you, which is good, is you don't think that every single battle you have to fight. Like every time that you see a player, you're not just immediately engaged and we have to duel to the death. You are willing to run away when you know that you're not at an advantage. In this case, this guy shot you once before you got to shoot him, and you just repulse him away and go and look at something else, which is great. Okay. Good shots to kill that guy. Your teammate died with the ball, unfortunately. Yeah, as you get your shields here, you're going to pick it up and use it a little bit as bait. Once again, really nice play here, and I'm going to illustrate this for anyone else who is watching that maybe isn't doing things like this in their game. So you're here at pillars, at mud pillars, and I think you have one teammate alive over here somewhere doing who knows what, and your other two teammates are dead. Two guys are pushing you, so there's no way that you should live out of this encounter. And not only do you live, you manage to kill one of them just by putting your body between this pillar and them. So you break the line of sight, you jiggle around, you kill one of them, and then instead of ego challenge the second guy, you get back behind the pillar, break the line of sight again, wait just a second to give him an opportunity to think, this guy's not going to poke, I'm going to throw a grenade. And then you immediately run away. So instead of trading your life away or coming out with nothing, you actually get a kill in this scenario and also still live. So very good play. Something that more people need to be incorporating into their game is this concept of fog of war, where you're breaking the line of sight and now you're controlling the engagement. So even when you're down shots, you can come out ahead because you're not letting them shoot you for free. You're not just standing on here. You're not just flying at them trying to trade out. You are slow playing this, making them waste time, while they're over here on you, they're not on the ball. And you use it to your advantage where you can peek out and shoot somebody, maybe a little too far of a peek, but you did manage to kill him and get back, and then you ran out of the way. So really good job, and something that you need to do all the time. Um, it it will drastically change how a lot of your one-on-one encounters go, and in this case, a 2v1 encounter you turned into a 1-for-0. You kill one of them, and then you get away for free. So good job. And let's just rewind that for a second and take a look at it. So again, here you are, you drop the ball, you use it as bait. Your teammate just died. You see two of them pushing you. You kill the one shot, and then you get behind the cover, and you just run away. Very small thing, but a very big thing in more high-level games. So good job. Now, as you get your shields, you come back and re-peek. Again, this is where the ball's at, so this is where the action should be. So good idea. You did see a guy jump there. I'd be a little careful. Thankfully, your teammate came out in front of you and is meeting them as your buffer in the lane. He dies, so you just throw the ball at the map. No problem here, and I mean, you're just pushed by two people, and there was a guy pushing from the other direction. Not much you could do. At least you got the ball off the map. There is a case to be made that maybe you could have held it for a second or two longer and just kind of stood on the edge. That way, as soon as you die, the ball's falling off either way. The seconds themselves don't really matter, but the idea is you're giving your teammates who are on a 10-second respawn, you're cutting that 10 seconds down to maybe 5 seconds or 3 seconds instead of just, the full length. The longer that you're alive and wasting their time, the longer that your teammates have to get respawned and get in a position to where the ball is going to be bottom mid after the engagement. So either way, no complaints here. Just kind of a tough situation. All right, so off spawn, immediately looking at the sight line where the ball's going. Great. Really good shot here, even though theater's kind of bugged out and it doesn't really look like you hit him, but good shot. Then you see a guy pushing, and you get shot by another guy. So this is a really tough situation, and you're probably going to die here either way. But once I saw the first guy and I started shooting at him, you drop down, which is good, and you're waiting on him to come up here. The second guy, though, as soon as he starts shooting, I'm just ducking and I'm jumping down. So you're right here, and you're killing a guy who's running out for free, which if he was the only one here, you'd just kill this guy straight up and there'd be no problem. Unfortunately, his teammate's also coming. So you start shooting at him. He ends up running this way. This guy starts shooting at you. You drop back, which is good. But now you're looking at like this area. I'm probably jumping behind this box, more specifically like the second box that's here, and just trying to get my shields back. It's probably a scenario where you're going to die anyways, because this guy may see you drop and he's just going to come kill you. But I think setting on this spot, you're pretty much guaranteeing that they're going to collapse on you. Again, tough, but maybe a small tip is just drop down to the box. Yeah, that guy got traded out, so you definitely would have lived if you would have dropped down on the box. Either way, trade out. It's all fine. So you spawn on Obi right when it's coming up. Just a really great situation to be in. Also, want to point out where everyone's at this point. So you've got a teammate tower fighting two guys. You again are at Ovi. Teammate's dead. And the ball guy's top tower. Their team. Looks like you got a guy pushing you. Yeah, you got one here. And then another guy that's dead. So beyond obviously the OV part coming up, got a guy top tower with the ball. You got a guy right here just literally fighting two people coming this way. So they're coming to the ball hard. This guy's dead. You have a guy looking at you this way. You are here. And this guy's dead. So I want you to get this OV. Obviously, you spawned on it and it's coming up. You need to get it. If this guy's smart, he's going to stand up here and just try to shoot you as you're trying to pick it up, maybe throw the frags off the wall and try to kill you. He's probably not smart, and he's probably going to jump down here, and you should 1v1 him and kill him. That being said, I kind of want to talk about what you should do from this point. So, knowing that if you kill this guy, it's now a 3v2. However, this guy should be spawning pretty soon. Your teammate should also be spawning pretty soon. If you're calming with these two players, then he says, hey, two people are pushing. You got OV. You need to come back and fight these guys and keep them off the ball carrier. Once you do that, though, if this is successful and we kill them, then we need to be working on getting into covering those sight lines. So focusing again on where enemies are coming from. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, so again, fine kill. You got the OV. Unfortunately, your teammate died top tower, and your other teammate looks like he tried to play it, just didn't get it. OV, I'm running straight forward to try to kill this guy. However, you do have to be mindful that the green gun could be coming at you too anytime that they go bottom tower. Either way, you turn this into a really good scenario. Get 3 kills out of the OV. Unfortunately, the last guy's got you, but your teammate got the ball. I think, again, if you're calming and you say, hey, got 1, got 2, got 3, oh, the 4th guy killed me, your teammate shouldn't be playing the ball there if there's only 1 guy alive. He just needs to be more aware that you have numbers advantage, because I believe you have 2 people alive and 1 guy just spawned here, but you have numbers advantage on the 1 guy alive. You need to focus on living up and then also retaining possession there. Not something you did, but just something in general to point out on the map. The other unfortunate part about him playing the ball so quick there is the thing that I was talking about delaying the time that it takes for you to play the ball. So because the ball's played early here, right as you die, and again, they're just 1 guy up. Unfortunately, he got a spawn like over in this area, and he's just immediately beelining bottom mid. You have 2 players up here, and then I think another guy just spawned here. But because this ball's played early, and yeah, there's a guy chasing your teammate here. And I think what happens is he starts shooting this guy, and he gets scared and plays the ball, which is understandable. However, with the teammate here, I'm probably trying to get out of the way. And again, it depends on communication in this game. Maybe there's not a lot of communication going on, but if you get out of the way, let this guy, again, engage first, and then he can turn around and be like a secondary shooter where he's not getting the pressure of the shots, but he's still able to put some pressure on this guy, so he either dies pushing or has to back up. Delaying playing the ball when they're 3 down means that you're also giving time for you to spawn, and again, you're probably spawning B here because I think they were spawning A. And unfortunately gives time for the other team to spawn, but it doesn't put the ball in this area for free where this guy can just come and grab the ball for free with no one around. He has to wait, because the longer that you delay playing, whether that's just walking it down here and hiding and letting this guy fight this guy, the longer it will take for the ball to be played, and the higher chance that you're respawned and ready to get into the action. Okay, so he got the ball. He's breaking the rule of not having a buffer and just runs off by himself. You should get a free kill here. Yeah, you do. Okay, we grab the ball. You kind of go bottom mid here. Probably would have went either to check sandbags or maybe check garage, but either way, it's all good. I think you saw that guy, missed him, but you get a ninja on him, so it kind of works out for you. It's like you got to call out with that guy. I think if he's 1 shot, you just shoot him, but also trying to avoid the melee damage, so understood. Nice shots to kill that guy. Saw that he had a sniper, pick it up. Really unfortunate that that snipe would have hit him, but you actually hit the frag grenade. So just an unlucky shot. You do see this guy. Let's see what happens. Here, okay, kind of focused on the frag. Maybe you were zoomed, I couldn't see him. Good shot. So I do want to point out here that ball carrier's in here. You can't see these guys, but you need to assume that if the ball carrier is here by in A, then the rest of them are probably in A. You also kind of have indicators on your teammates, and you know that one teammate, at least from your screen's perspective, there'll be an indicator. If we go back to you, yeah, and I think I accidentally skipped back. So let's take a look. So you kill him. You got a teammate here, and you got a teammate here. So you know that they're behind you. They're not pushed up the map as far as you are. So try to time this push, even though you do have one down, to where you're either coming in and just doing some damage and backing back out so that you live until your teammates can get here, or you kind of slow play this, maybe go behind this, maybe jump up sandbags, maybe get in the window. But you want to slow play it to where you're not in here fighting three people by yourself. Okay, you go in the window, which is great. Get a nice no scope, and you back up. Awesome. Yep, and your teammates got there right in time too. I think should have saw in the kill feed that like 3 of them were dead there. You can pretty much run to the ball for free, but you got your shields back. Your teammate got the ball. Yeah, try to get up to this quicker so you can see anyone contesting OV. But look, you've got 3 people on OV. Now the ball guy, where is he at? Ball guy's here. He should see this and just start moving to you guys. Again, he doesn't want to be on the edge where he's going to get shot from garage or shot from sandbags without one of you there to at least help him out. Nice shot. Okay, he gets in window, and you need to kind of take his position. A plat, which you do. Another nice shot. Just kill that guy with your BR. He's one shot, but it's fine. And really weird thing from your ball carrier, but I guess it all works out since they were 3 down. Yeah, you guys are just killing them this round. So you're full shields here. You know your teammate's fighting. I would just try to get into this fight faster. Maybe you keep him alive here. But yeah, as your full shields or even half shields, if your teammate's already engaged, you can try to protect him from off angles without really being in danger of dying. And as he's getting the shots taken at him, you can shoot that guy. But you know, if they start focusing on you and you're down shields, then you can back up. But in this case, you were full. Just come out and help him. And maybe you guys kill that guy. Killing Frenzy, nice. Unfortunately, just missed no scope, which happens. And there's only 8 seconds left. Throwing yourself in front of the other team is also just really slowing them down in this scenario. Subtle thing here, but if we rewind just a second. Okay, you're shooting this guy. You see shots getting fired. You start to back up naturally. This is a really good instinct to have, is that you're breaking this line of sight over here towards garage and possibly even getting behind here to where you're breaking the line of sight towards sandbags while also fighting this guy. And this is a high level thing that you definitely got to do, and it's good to see that you're doing it, is that you're trying to isolate the angle to the fight that you're in. You're not exposing yourself to other fights. So you get back here, really good stuff. And it doesn't look like much, but it's something that a lot of lower level players just don't do. And as you get higher and higher, those things just have to be instincts in your gameplay. Like, you have to do that if you intend on moving up. Okay, second round. Again, run past the weapon, you pick it up, you're looking at different sight lines, you do find an engagement and you back out of it, which is really great. kind of want to talk though. You had like 2 teammates push straight top mid, and then obviously you're fighting here. This is so hard because you're like 3 stacking one lane, and I have no idea where your other teammate went. I assume he went over towards Ovi. But you're not expanding the map, and this isn't necessarily your fault, but just kind of a problem with matchmaking is, we're not building out that concave to where we have lines of sight on all the different lanes on the map. We're just kind of grouped and clustered together, which makes us really easy to get trapped. Anyways, you see this guy, a little bit too much on the right stick there, but you do get the kill. Oh, another guy's just running by you for free. Good kill. 3 are down here. Yeah, I would have just hard challenged that to make sure that either you get the OV or you and this guy trade and your teammate gets the OV. And this is a weird concept, but your teammates just killed a guy, you killed 2 people, and then you have a one shot at OV. So at the very worst, you should be trading with this guy. But I'm just not letting him jump here for free. And the reason I say it's okay to die here is if you 2 trade, then your teammate that was here should slide off here and get this OV for free. And so even though you sacrifice your life, your reward is your teammate now gets the power up, instead of this guy getting the power up. And maybe you can still trade with him if you held on to that second sticky and he chases you and you stick him. But it's okay to die in a scenario where you're benefiting your team. And in the sense of benefiting your team, I mean, you're putting yourself in the lane to be a buffer for one of your teammates to get a power up like an overshield or something. Okay, so now they're 4 up. You get an absolute god spawn, and you do see a guy jumping a plat, but yeah, I would have chucked both my grenades into that window and probably tried to engage the guy because the other guy's holding the ball. So until he drops the ball, he's not really a threat to you. Go bottom mid here though, and you're going to get a kill. So either way, kind of works out for you. You also get a sniper. Unfortunately, because you've backed up so far now, I think all of your team's going to spawn back C, and they're all going to spawn A. Because of that, they're basically just in a full setup, and you're restarting the engagement as if none of that progress was made. That guy's going to spawn before your team gets back over there. So even though you got the kill, you do get a sniper, and maybe you'll do some work with it. Because we back up so much, they're all just going to spawn in A, and you're all going to spawn back C, and you're just pushing again. Whereas if you kill that guy and then either set bottom mid or try to get into garage, you're spawning them out. You're either going to spawn them at B or you're going to spawn them at like mud, and maybe your teammate will spawn at OV or something. So keep in mind your positioning and how it can impact spawns around the map. As you give up space, you're also opening up spawn points. Nice shot. And way to switch to your BR quickly and clean up the kill. As you guys get that kill though, again, I'm moving forward a little bit, especially since you see your teammates are in front of you. You should be able to collapse here and just don't die for free, which unfortunately you do die for free, but it was in a team fight and you guys won it, so not really as concerning, but I think you could live through that because you had a teammate in A who could have finished off that kill. So grab the repulsor. Put yourself in a really exposed spot to get it though. I would have been a little slower about it, but you got it and you got out. Pulse guy again so he can't beat you down, which is great. Yeah, bounce grenades off the wall. Trying to fight off Ovi. And so that was kind of the scenario I was talking about earlier where you're trying to put yourself up there, and look, because you did that, your teammate ends up cleaning up the kill. Unfortunately, your teammate didn't follow it up and actually go try to get the Ovi, and now he's fighting an Ovi guy 1v1. But good play there, good decision. Grab the green gun. just a slight bit too early on the shot. I think it didn't get into tracking yet. Not sure if you heard the repulse there, but should have been able to hear him repulse up and could have anticipated that a little bit better. Either way, kind of unlucky that you were charging the green gun right at the time that somebody one shot comes along. Really like the repulsor, which is good to be grabbing equipment and anything that you see around you. Making a rat play here, which is it's pretty good in a scenario where you're down numbers, also back away from the grenade. So when you're down numbers, where you're in a scenario where I don't understand why your teammate was holding the ball, but he's in here holding the ball. You're here. Everybody else is dead on your team, and I'm not sure how many of them are up, but you know that there's at least one, and I think there was two guys pushing your teammate, and they eventually kill him. But because you're ratting, basically what you're doing is trying to get a cheap kill. And people don't really like to play this way. They call it playing cringe or ratting. But the idea is if you can get a cheap kill out of the way here, then you can even up the numbers without putting yourself at risk. So this scenario of playstyle is very good in a situation where you're down numbers and you know you're going to lose. You don't want to give up your life for free. You want to be very, very cautious and try not to die. And if you can get a kill out of it before your teammates spawn up, then that's just a benefit to you. So good job. Cool. So you grab sniper again. Yeah, that guy has just no awareness of what's going on. Okay. Good shot. Yeah, try to get behind cover. And yeah, so this is a tough one. Because you have teammates here, I probably would have just set directly pressed against the scoreboard at screens and just try to let him finish him and then maybe try to jiggle the corner to get to the jump up. Just areas to where if they push you, you've got these guys fighting. Because you're directly running away, he just picks you off instead of focusing on your teammates. So you might have had your teammates actually engage him a little bit earlier before he saw you if you were pushed up against the screen. Either way, your teammate makes a big play there. Have the ball. Pick up the needler. Again, you're picking up weapons, which is good. Not the biggest fan of the needler, but you might be able to get some kills out of here. Way to disengage there. You saw two, and there was actually three coming, and you just get out of dodge quickly. As your shields come back, again, you need to be looking to get back into the fight with your team. Good kill. Unfortunately, all your teammates die. Really good use of cover. Again, let's talk about this scenario again where you're breaking line of sight. So, okay, this is not it. Let's go back one more time. Can I go back one more time? Okay. So very, very high level play here. Again, the needler part, whatever. But you see two people, you don't sit there and die. You get out of the way. Now, you get into a more safe area while you're getting your shields back. Again, from here, I'm probably just switching to my BR and just killing this guy. But you do get the kill anyways. Playing in an off lane. He's looking at these guys. You're killing him. So you're not in any danger here. You get this kill. And then watch how you play this. So you see him. You know he's here. You get really low so he can't see you. Get a couple shots in. Cut the line of sight completely. Now you know there's two people here, but you've cut the line of sight to where they can't really focus on you. And you're able to kill this guy without the other guy getting exposed. Now, the only thing I would critique here is just don't jump, because if you jump, you're putting yourself in danger of him. Unfortunately for him, he's throwing a grenade, so he's not able to focus on you. And you did a very good job of killing this guy. But if you stay planted and just kind of back up, you kill him, and then you don't even risk getting shot by that guy. Either way, once again, you get out of a 2v1 scenario with killing one and then having your life, and now you get behind the OB guy, you super combine him. Unfortunately, the OB is just a little too strong for that, but take his complete OB away and get a trade out of it. So, really good job. Right, nice kill. You love the repulsor, which is fine. I would get it as well. One thing I want to point out though is again this idea of covering lanes. So if I spawn there at B box or nest box, whatever you want to call it, I'm just sitting there for a few seconds. Anyways, at least in this scenario where I've got a teammate here, even though he's in a fight, and then I got the ball carrier here. The reason I'm doing this is first, one of your teammates is dead, so you can kind of figure out where the enemy team's pushing from as soon as he spawns. Second, though, is this is one of the spots on the map where you can cut off this lane. So you cut off the B lane, but you also have line of sight on the A lane. So as people are pushing here, you can shoot them. And then if someone just runs through here, you can also shoot them in the back. So I would sit here for a couple seconds, at least until your teammate spawns. And, or if you see like 3 people pushing top mid or pushing this way, then you can start following them. But the idea is you can be a buffer in 2 separate lanes at one time without exposing yourself to anything, because literally no one is going to expect you to be sitting here while the ball's in here. And again, you got you got a teammate with the ball. I don't know where the other guy's at, but I do know there's 2 guys here fighting. So you're putting pressure on 2 different lanes at once, and you're not exposed. You're playing outside your lane where someone approaching you is never going to be looking at you. So I would do that at least for a couple seconds until this teammate spawns, and then once he spawns, you can kind of decide what you want to do. And yeah, you would have got the jump on this guy sooner because he never would have been looking for you over there. You could have shot him, and then you could have backed up behind the box or backed up behind B, and you're wasting his time while your team's still racking up time. And your teammate spawned back mud, so he ends up cleaning up the kill either way. Right. Kind of a tough grenade angle. Oh, getting shot in the back. Go for the ninja. Sometimes you just kind of gotta go for it. Switch my camera. Fortunately, it looks like this battle's not going so great for your team. Actually, no, they got them all off the ball. Yep. So I also like some of this. I don't like that you die because you could just backed up. But instead of just beelining and looking at the ball that your teammates are already on and shooting, you see the direction they're facing, and you come and try to meet the pressure from a different angle. So you see they're fighting here, you spawn. They're fighting, you see they're pointing this direction, so you know there's pressure over in this garage area. I would set right about where you're at. Yeah, about right here. You see this guy, and I would just start shooting him, and then I would back up. Basically, you're preventing him from getting to them. So your teammates, whatever's going on in here, hopefully they can deal with, but at least you're keeping this guy off of them. Because you kind of overexpose yourself, what happens is this other guy jumps up. Whereas if you're still sitting back there, as soon as you see this guy jump up, you can just run. Right. It's kind of a tough scenario where the ball's just kind of in no man's land, so it's not really going to be in anyone's possession, and you're just kind of team fighting over it. So many one-shots. I think if you didn't repulse the first guy, you would have killed him and then be able to kill the second guy and probably still be alive now, but it happens sometimes. Sometimes you just get swarmed. Okay, so it's definitely go time. Obviously, 90 plus seconds, you just kind of got to go forward to the ball. I think if you don't throw the grenades, this guy might just keep coming this way, and you might be able to kill him. Because he sees the grenades, he immediately backs up. As your teammate sees him turning directions, he needs to be focused on going the other way to cut him off. But I assume, yeah, he's just going to drop down. And now you're just kind of in a tough situation where the round's over because he just outmaneuvered everyone. I feel like if you get that double there, you might win the game. Sometimes that happens. So again, off spawn, grabbing the weapon, good. Wow, that actually hit that guy. The green gun's just way overpowered now. Can probably follow your teammate up here. Yeah, good kill. Yeah, and then get back to the ball guy. Yep, really good stuff. Also, Ovi's coming up. Yeah, all that's fine. Don't have to fight that guy one-on-one. Good kill. Again, high level use of cover here. You're also jiggling, trying to figure out which direction he's coming from. You're one shot, so you're going to die here, most likely either way, but you're wasting this guy's time, and then maybe you can trade out with him. And you just killed one guy. Plus, your teammates are fighting for OV, and you've got ball. So as long as this guy's not in the fight, you're doing a whole lot of good. You hit him, and just couldn't quite get the aim there. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe if you just hug the pillar, and as he comes around, green gun punch him, maybe you two trade out completely. But either way, I like how you played it. I like that you're using the cover. And as you continue to do that, you're seeing that you're in 2v1 scenarios, which you should never win, but you're making the most out of it because of how you're using cover. Don't know what your teammate's doing here with the ball. He jumps off tower to punch somebody and then loses a melee battle with a one shot. Not great. You got to trade, but it's just unfortunate that the ball is also left top tower. And so the 30 seconds that you guys had, they're now racking into. Fortunately, you got another good spawn, so it kind of works out. They only got 9 seconds out of it. One small suggestion here as we go back to your point of view. Let's see if I can find you here. Yeah. So your team's all collapsing on the ball. Obviously, he plays it. So you're doing the right thing, which is going to the new ball. Don't run around this corner. Either slide so that you can have your gun up ready to shoot, or walk around the corner. Because he's going to get first shot on you all because you're running. Yeah. And if you were just walking, or if you ran and slid around the corner and you're pointing at this door where you know the pressure's going to be coming from, you're going to commando this guy and he's either going to have to run away or he's going to die. He does run away anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but just a kind of small tip for not getting into bad engagements around the corner. So your teammates spawn at mud and you run the ball that way, which is great. Anytime that you're picking up the ball as your teammates are spawning, you should definitely be going to where they're spawning. Play the ball, again, completely fine. Best decision there because you're getting shot in the back. The lane that you're getting shot from is not being covered, so you just kind of have to do that. Right. Trying to contest Ovi. Just unfortunate scenario, and yeah, there's not much you can do here other than just try to waste that guy's time. And really good use of cover again, where you know the OV guy's on the other side of the OV tower, and you're shooting the guy, but you're putting the tower between you and the OV guy. So you're here, and you see another guy, so you get a free kill out of this one. You should be dead, because if you just engage this OV guy one-on-one, who's standing like right here, you're gonna die. But because you put this between you and him, he has to spend time either looking for you or he just says forget it and go somewhere else. You get a kill out of it in a scenario that, again, a lower level player is just going to die. So good job. After that, though, I either sat back there or I run off the other direction of where I knew the OV guy was at, which maybe thought he was chasing around the other way. But got away, ran into another guy. Just an unfortunate scenario that happens. So again, if it was me, as soon as I saw that guy, I'm shooting my gun, not trying to nade him. But you get 2 kills, so it kind of works. And yeah, the only thing I would have done different there is as soon as I see that guy running, I just drop off this pillar and set right here. Hopefully he doesn't see you and you can get your shields back. Because you set there, even though you put him one shot, he turns around and sees you because you're one shot. If you're not one shot, then it's fine to set there. But if you're one shot, just as soon as you see someone, you just kind of got to dip out of the way and then maybe work your way back in towards the ball. Okay, nice shot. Yeah, you see two people, you get out of the way, all fine. Unfortunately, the other team's kind of got the ball here. You also got a guy down. Not much you can do in that scenario once you're already committed and on a plat, other than maybe just hugging this pillar and hoping someone comes. It's just, you're kind of in no man's land where they're going to collapse on you. It's just hoping that your team can come in time and maybe hitting the no scope. Okay. I think you could have just kept the high ground there. You know they're shooting from OV. You know the guy ran out scoreboard. So at least 2 people aren't in A. You could, and you know the ball guy's in A. So you can at least prevent the angle on 2 different people and then get out of the way. And then at this point, you just know the match is over. Kind of give up. Overall, I would say you played fairly well there. I think there's a couple things that you could adjust, and maybe we could have turned this match around. Unfortunately, just didn't quite work out, but good gameplay overall, and look forward to seeing what you do next time. Thanks.